Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so now the verses, in fact the whole vision is over. So now we will begin to see the verses, which is chapter 8 verse 16. Brahma bhuvanan lokaha punaravartinojuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So chant after me. Brahma bhuvana lokaha
Brahma bhuvana lokaha
punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya
Mamupetya tu kaunteya
punarjanmana vidyate. Okay. Here he says that Brahma bhuvana lokaha punaravartino junaha. Okay. So that means a jiva, which is an individual who takes oneself to be one little individual. That person performs an action and what? Comes back with different bodies to enjoy the result of the action. Not only on earth, Lord Krishna says, Brahma bhuvanan lokan. Lokan means plural. Don't think that in this vast universe, the earth which occupies what? Even a dot is the only place where life exists. Okay? So this is where he says there are lots of lokas. The Vedic, when we talk about, this 7 lokas up and 7 lokas down. Okay? So this is where we say there are multiple places in the universe where where people take birth with different bodies and different forms to what? Experience the result of their action. Okay? So that means that you can go to a subtler universe which is not even visible to us and have what? Subtler bodies to enjoy those subtler objects. Right? Even right now, in this world, how many different species are existing? I don't even see some of the species that are existing. My bare eyes cannot even see it. Bacteria, if I could see it, what will happen? The minute it is attacking my body, what will I do?
Destroy.
I'll just say, hey, go. So many things are not even seen by me. And that bacteria also, or that little forms, they also have vision. They also see the world. And in their vision, I could be a totally different form than with your eyes what it seemed to me. The elephant with elephant's eye, a human being with human being's eye, a cat with his cat eye will see me. They will all see different, not one image. They will see different image depending upon what? How the eyes are programmed. Right? So that means that there are multiple lokas, multiple species, multiple experiences. As long as you think you are an individual, you keep on going here and there, everywhere. You are a traveler. Because the karma in anybody's account is infinite. And the bodies that one can assume to experience different results of different actions are infinite. Okay, what does a jnani do? We are caught in this what we call samsara chakra. Chakra means it's a wheel. Wheel of samsara. What is a wheel of samsara? Laws of cause and effect. Okay? So therefore, the laws of cause and effect doesn't have a perspective of limited perspective. Okay? It comes along with creation and it goes on. And there are cycles of creation. So it keeps on going on and on and on. The only way to get out of this wheel of samsara, here he says, okay, is mam upetya. Only if you come to know my true nature and your identity with me. What is my true nature? What is the true nature of all knowledge and all power? Awareness. Exactly. And what is your true nature? Same awareness. Okay. Having known that, he says, punarjanma na vidyate. There is no coming back in the wheel of samsara. Why is there not coming back in the wheel of samsara? Because now, instead of placing my eye in one little entity, where do I place my eye? In the entire thing. Right? I place my eye in that entire, this awareness which is the truth of the whole universe. What do I understand? That this awareness which as though manifests in this whole universe as all different names and forms called Ishvara is also what? The same awareness. Okay? Once I know that, is there any need for me to come back and experience the world as one little entity? No, because my thinking that I am only this individual, that it's gone, that ignorance is removed. I am the truth of the whole universe in which all these activities take place. And those activities are what we call mithya. It is all very real to me until I inquire into the nature of things. Everything collapses. Everything collapses in a concept. Nowadays, a quantum physicist will tell you that. That concept, who organizes that concept at the entire series of levels through laws is what we call Ishvara. Okay. So, and the truth of that Ishvara is that awareness. Okay. Once I know that, where is the question of my coming back as a given entity? Because I am that awareness. Okay. Now, some people think, oh my God, moksha means I'll not come back. This is another problem. I want to come back. There was one musician who says, I'm not interested in moksha. I said, why? So he says, yeah, because I'm enjoying life.
Yeah, I've also heard.
Right? I'm really enjoying life. Otherwise about food, lovely, vacations, lovely. Now after that, nothing. How? What is this? Right? People say that. Right? So here, along with this food comes what? Indigestion. Fat that you can't stand. Heart attacks that you want to avoid.
Also, you don't know which prarabdha
Yeah,
you will
will
come back with.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't know. It's
Yeah.
not as if I'm going to continue from here.
Forever. And in this,
That I've reached this stage, now I'll carry on. With
Exactly.
This. I might come back as a beggar.
Okay, so this is where it says Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshadu, Darshanam. The very basic limitation. You think you are enjoying life, but birth is a painful event. For a child to come out and find oneself in a safe place, which is mother's womb, where everything is taken care of, protected, to this vast world where it has to survive, itself is a trauma. That's why the child comes out what? Crying. Not knowing, oh my God, where am I going?
The first thing it gets is a whack.
Yeah, exactly. First thing it gets the whack.
First thing it gets the whack.
He doesn't cry.
And his response is crying, not
Crying.
laughing.
Exactly. Right? Then constantly what? As she said, tomorrow how it is going to unfold, I don't know. Right? There is this whole fear of loss. So I'm constantly fraught with this fear of loss. Janma, Mrityu. Okay? In between that loss, I'm surviving. Jara, disease. Anytime the disease can come. Right? And I have what? All these many different, I do yoga, I do mudra, I do everything to protect myself. But I can't just say I have to do only one day. I have to do every day. Morning, afternoon, evening, exactly. Right? As she is saying, my God, you have to do every day, otherwise you won't even get a chance to listen to Vedanta. Exactly. So I'm constantly struggling to avoid disease, which is a big task. Because how many of us have how many problems and we run to Matra Ben to say, now please fix this problem of mine. So Jara, okay, and Vyadhi, and then Jara, old age.
Old age.
Old age, when all your capacities start declining. This is human life. You can't ignore this. You can't just say, I'm having a good dosa today, so let me continue.
Come back and have it.
Come back and have it.
I need to give up my dosa.
Right? So this is what basically the whole thing is. The human life is fraught with some inherent limitations, and nobody can stand those inherent limitations. Okay? The only way to get out is to know your true nature. And when you know your true nature, and if you don't come back as an individual, don't think of it as a self-extinction. People think that I'll disappear if I don't come back as an individual. We are not talking about, does the water ever disappear? If the wave does not come back as wave, if the wave understands I'm water and does not come back again to experience the world as wave, does the water disappear? The water in fact is the only thing which is. It never, please don't construe moksha as extinction. Moksha is not extinction. Moksha is what? One reality which never goes away. That is what you are. The forms keep going and coming. That unchanging reality which is constantly what? As she does the sand painting, right? The one huge picture she creates, somebody says, my God, with what this thing you have to just sweep it out. So many hours of effort has led to this beautiful Shiva that she has created. Then what? Then next, Rama, third, mountain, fourth. Sometimes she says what? Rocks. Right? These pictures after pictures after pictures, infinite pictures, only one content. That content you are. The coming and going of the different shapes and forms doesn't touch you. You are the only reality. Moksha does not mean you disappear. Please understand. Moksha means you understand you are that unchanging reality which always is when the forms are changing. This is moksha. Okay? Then he says, now makes you remind the fact that wherever you see anything, Ishvara is there. Okay? So here in the next chapter 10, verse 41, because here he says, Yat yat vibhutim tat sattvam shrimadurjitameva ma tat tat devavagachatvam mamate jomsha sambhavam. So hopefully here he says, wherever, whatever exists, okay, and wherever there is a glory which is endowed with any form of wealth, that which is mighty, every one of that, may you know, is born of a fraction of my glory. Okay? Wherever, if you want to, some people say, okay, give me one take home from this 5-day retreat. This is the verse. Wherever you see any glory, see it as Ishvara's glory. Okay. And Ishvara is not only that glory. Tejomsha Sambhavam. It's only one given manifestation of Ishvara. Ishvara is much more than that. Right? Whole problem of jealousy will go away. You like talent of somebody that you don't have, instead of being jealous of that person, what will you do? See it as glory of Ishvara. Wow, what a beauty. Where you see it as glory of Ishvara, where is going to be your jealousy? Where is going to be your comparison? You see somebody as having something more than what you have. You see it glory of Ishvara. Yeah? That person has the ability to be that where the person is, glory of Ishvara. Convert everything into what? Glory of Ishvara. From your smallness, you will become what? People say, how do I grow? You grow when you make all these small steps towards your growth. Okay? See it as glory of Ishvara. Smallness in you goes away. Your connection with Ishvara increases. As your reactions go away, you become more proactive in getting what you are looking for. Using your free will to what you are looking for. Using, that is also glory of Ishvara. Glory of Ishvara everywhere. If you see a problem, then what happens to glory of Ishvara?
Problem of Ishvara.
Exactly. You see a problem, what happens?
Within the order.
Within the order. Excellent. Within the order. And the order also gives an opportunity to what? That correction. Yeah, exactly. Wherever there is a problem, there is a solution. This is also order of Ishvara. Look for that solution. Solution will come. That is
To get back into that balance.
get
and order.
back into the balance and order. Right? All these huge problems that you have about your body that you go and complain to her, she's showing what? What? This seems like some big effort. She's saying, oh, just touch this, seems like a complete non-solution. And you have this huge problem of concentration. She says, oh, just do only this.
That's connecting with Ishvara.
Yeah. Every problem that you have, solutions are given. Ishvara. Who says by doing this, your mind will have better what is a connection? Intricate laws of Ishvara. Has she created that connection?
No.
No. She only has discovered that connection. And she's showing it to you. Okay? Everything within Ishvara's order. Enjoy. Don't be frightened by problems, because for every problem there is a solution. Even for this existential problem there is a solution. And there is no problem which has come to you without a solution. Okay? Use Ishvara to find the right solution. While you're alive, there are series of solutions to keep your body healthy, alive, your mind healthy and alive. And then you have problem of mortality. I said, okay, now I have helped myself to all these problems, but I still am stuck with the problem of mortality because I can't keep on indefinitely prolonging my life. You want to solve that problem? Even that solution is given. There is solution all the way. Use Ishvara is there for you. Okay? So here he says, Yat Yat Vibhuti Tat Sarvam. Even in the problem, that right search for solution is Ishvara. And finding that solution and solving that problem is Ishvara. Bring understanding of Ishvara all the way. Right? Then, Yetu Sarvani Karmani. Now we will have to chant. Yetu Sarvani Karmani.
Yetu sarvani karmani.
Mai Sanyasya Matparaha.
Mai sanyasya matparaha.
Ananyenaiva Yogena.
Ananyenaiva yogena.
Mam Dhyayanta Upasate.
Mam dhyayanta upasate.
So this is what he says. Now, if I want, Lord, there is this whole thing about, there is this chapter 12 which talks about this bhakti. Okay? People think that there are different yogas that Lord Krishna is talking about. Okay? One is Jnana Yoga for the intellectual, Karma Yoga for the active, Bhakti Yoga for the devotional. Right? This is the understanding that we have. Or the people who want to, those who are, the kind of, this, what is the fourth yoga?
Those who cannot fit in
Yeah,
any of
any-
these, then they can fit maybe in this Ashtanga Yoga.
Okay, so whatever, right? Here what we are not creating, what did we see? Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha. Okay? Moksha is the end. There are two lifestyles which are possible to gain moksha, karma yoga and sannyasa. The sannyasi and karma yogi who is pursuing the truth, in both there is connection to Ishvara or not? There is connection to Ishvara all the way. The whole pursuit is the search of Ishvara. And knowing Ishvara properly and incorporating what? Ishvara's understanding in my living. Where is Jnanam without devotion? Where is Karma Yoga without devotion? As I said, in Karma Yoga, you see Dharma as manifestation of Ishvara. when you take the result as coming from the laws of Ishvara, you are in touch with Ishvara. When in order to get rid of your sadness, your anger, you make that, help yourself to psychology, ultimately bring in the understanding of Ishvara as infallible order, which brings about all these emotions. Are you bringing in Ishvara or not? Then when you are helpless, asking, praying and asking for help, are you bringing Ishvara or not? In the whole, whether you choose a sannyasa or karma yoga, whichever lifestyle that you choose, if moksha is the end, then all the way there is Ishvara. There is no third type of people who have Ishvara. This is why he says, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananye naiva yogena. Ananya is the key word here. How do you, if you want to gain this knowledge, ananye naiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Your devotion to me is not as one entity Ishvara which is other than me. As long as that understanding is that Ishvara is something other than me, there is no solution. You have so many questions about why Ishvara created me. Okay? Why he gave so much suffering in this world. Okay? Why did he not make us all wise in the beginning? Okay? All these questions will continue to remain. The only solution to this problem, these questions, is re-understand what Ishvara is. When you re-understand what Ishvara is, you will understand what? All your questions will disappear, because you will understand what? There is only one. There is no second. That one, as though, manifests in whole Jagat without itself changing or being ever affected by it. And what is your relationship to that one? What is your relationship?
Same nature.
Same. I am the one. So what are you talking about? Why Ishvara has created me to suffer? In that itself shows your ignorance. So that means the only way Ishvara can help you really is by showing one's own nature, and show you and me are only one. And that one never gets affected by whatever happens in the world. This is the only way to answer the question. Say, bhakti is essential part of whether you choose to be a sannyasi or you choose to be a karma yogi. Bhakti, ananya bhakti, not just any bhakti. Ananya bhakti is essential part of learning of Vedanta. There is no Vedanta without bhakti. Bhakti means connection to Ishvara. Connection to Ishvara, what are we showing you? You can never be away from Ishvara. We are showing you that. Your connection to Ishvara is not only when you are doing puja, when you are singing bhajan. Your connection to Ishvara is what? Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. When you do karma and you recognize Ishvara as law of dharma, you are in touch with Ishvara. When you receive the result of your actions, you recognize Ishvara in form of karma, law of karma, you are in touch with Ishvara. When you deal with your psychological issues, right, and try to bring in the understanding of Ishvara, you are in touch with Ishvara. When you are helpless and you recognize that there is one intelligence which governs everything and ask for help, you are in touch with Ishvara. This is what we call Ananya. Throughout the day, no matter what I am doing, I have desire, I am in touch with Ishvara. Because Ishvara, I have not chosen, I am born with certain set of desires. I am in touch with Ishvara. This is what we call Ananya. Your partial bhakti, you have to convert to what? Total bhakti. Total bhakti, not partial bhakti.
Surrender.
And your partial understanding, you have to, in order to convert your partial bhakti into total bhakti, what do you need to do? You have to change your partial understanding of Ishvara into total understanding of Ishvara. Okay. Bhakti is essential part of knowledge. Don't separate the two. Vedanta is not only intellectual. Remove this idea that Vedanta is only intellectual. Vedanta is about understanding. It's understanding what is and changing your behaviors, what? In keeping with what you understand. The more you understand Ishvara, more is your relationship with Ishvara. Very fundamental relationship, like the waves connected to the ocean. Right? So this is what he says, Ananya Bhakti is something which is essential for this understanding and moksha. Okay? Okay. So here we have seen that in order to get that vision and have proper understanding of Ishvara, what do you need? A sattvic mind. So he reminds in the next, we have seen, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajah Karmani Bharata Jnanam Avrutyatu Tamaha Prasade Sanjayatyuta. Okay, here he says, sorry?
Pramade.
Yeah. Pramade Sanjayatyuta. So you will chant up. I'm not wearing my glasses. That's why. Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati.
Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati
Rajat Karmani Bharata.
Rajat Karmani Bharata
Jnanam Avrutyatu Tamaha.
Jnanam Avrutyatu Tamaha
Pramade Sanjayatyuta.
Pramade Sanjayatyuta.
Okay. Now, in order for you to understand the nature of Ishvara, okay, you need to be what? Sattvic. Because unless you have become sattvic, what will happen? There is no possibility to understand. Here he says, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. In that understanding is, when you understand things correctly, when you remove your ignorance, there is natural sukha. Okay? There is what we call vidya. Whenever there is a puzzle and you solve that puzzle, there is a great pleasure. Right? Imagine that in everything, that when you don't see things clearly, it's a puzzle. Then you see things with clarity, you are able to solve that and there is a pleasure. Okay? Every time you are in touch with what is, what? There is a pleasure. Because you are not in a projecting mind. Okay? So here he says, if moksha is your true nature, limitless is your nature, okay? You understand what your nature is. In that is what? Sukha. But that is the final, all along, in everything. Whenever you are in harmony with dharma, you have pleasure. Whenever you are able to accept the result without huge reactions, understanding that there are laws which are infinite, what happens? When the reactions reduce, what happens? Cheerfulness. Prasade sarva bhutanam haniro ashyopajayate. Every time you are connected to the reality at any given level, there is pleasure. Don't think that only when you know this final reality, then there will be a pleasure, and otherwise what? You are.
I think it's a process. Is really
Exactly. The whole process of removing every little ignorance that you remove, there is a pleasure. Don't think only when you solve that final puzzle, only then there is pleasure. So that means it is pleasure all the way. In that sattva is pleasure. What are you interested in? Pleasure. So if you are interested in pleasure, you have no choice but to what? Become more sattvic. And the sattvic you become by understanding how things are. Okay. So here he says, Sattva Sukhe Sanjayati Rajaha Karmani. Okay. Rajas, this whole thing is, my lack is taken as reality, and then what? I engage in the world to fill the lack. This disposition is what? Rajas. So I have not yet figured out what is the nature of problem. Right? So this is what he says. Rajaha means that for that lack, I need to do something. My focus is not what? On understanding things accurately, but doing something to fill that lack. This is what we call Rajaha. Okay? And Nanam Avrutya tu tamaha. Okay? Neither I want to do something, nor all that is too much effort. Knowing and understanding is not even in my agenda. Okay? Tamas means let me just do whatever, let me enjoy life. One more dosa, one more idli. Right?
Maybe my car is coming.
So tamas is make you what? Status quo. And that is what he says, pramade sanjayatyutaha. Okay? So that means if you are interested in your well-being, you need to make small corrections for you to be able to make what? Bigger corrections. All this whole process has to go on simultaneously. Right? Every small corrections you make, you bring in dharma that is connected to what? Your bigger correction of whether you will understand the reality or not. When you respond to result adequately, then it is connected to this moksha. Every small thing at a relative level, small adjustment in keeping with what is, prepares you for what? That bigger understanding. Otherwise, that every step has to be in its place for you, for the whole thing to happen. Okay? So sattvic, being sattvic is not some guna that I have to acquire, is understanding realities more accurately all the way. In that understanding is all the resolution of my confusion, and in that understanding is sukha. Become the person who wants to know things more clearly. Ask that one prayer, Gayatri mantra, I overheard Surya doing in the morning. Ask for clarity of thinking. Ask for clarity of thinking, because in that is the solution from your smallest problem to the biggest problem. Clarity all the way. Right? So here he says that sattva is important. Okay. Here the next verse, chapter 15, verse 3, Na rupamasyeha tathopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishtha ashwattamenam suvirudamulam asanga shastrena dridena chitva. he gives another imagery of this vriksha, the tree. Okay? Now this tree could be that of samsara tree. Okay? And this samsara tree, you cannot stand, because what? So many branches and it is very complex and you are overwhelmed by the complexity. So what do? You try to cut one branch. Oh, this one desire is a problem, let's cut that. Let's cut that because now this is a problem. Then let's cut that, that's a problem. What will happen? Are you solving the problem? No, because it will grow. One you cut, another one will grow. It will keep on growing. Then you say, okay, now these branches are not a solution. All these branches are what? Coming from the trunk. Let me now cut the trunk. What will happen? New trunk will come and new branches will come. And what you see is only what? The branches and trunk. You only see what is outside and you keep on trying to cut. And there is no solution. It says this is how samsara vriksha is. Unless you identify the root cause, which is invisible to you, where are the roots? Not really visible to you. If you have not identified the root cause and try to work on it, the samsara vriksha will laugh at you and continue. You continue one day, next day, next day, there is no end. Okay? If you want to cut the samsara vriksha, what do? Identify the fundamental problem. Because only when you identify the fundamental problem, you will work towards the solution. Why self-knowledge and self-growth becomes important for you? Not because Veda says that, because you discover that that is the only solution to what I'm searching for. Okay? So this is what he says. Identify the root cause. The root cause is that of ignorance. Ignorance of what is there. Where there is Ishvara, I see no Ishvara. Where I am limitless, I see myself as limited. Lots of confusions. Where world is mithya, I see it as absolutely real. Lots of confusion. With all these confusions remaining, I want to solve the problem. It's like cutting the tree. Here, 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 here. No end. Okay? The only way is to understand realities accurately. The whole problem will go away. You don't need to solve the problem because the problem itself will go away. Right? So this is what he says, that asanga shastrena dridena chitva. Through this, two things. In that pursuit is not only knowledge but what? Growth. Both are required. Okay? Then, even to begin to solve this problem, you need Shraddha. Okay? So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha
Trividha Bhavati Shraddha
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu.
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu.
One of our friends, she just called me, she's a very good friend of mine. She called me and she said that my daughter, can you talk to my daughter? So I said, for what? So she says, my daughter wants to know why Vedanta is the reality. Why? She wants a proof that Vedanta is the reality.
Me too.
Okay.
Take it.
Sorry?
Take it.
Right? So now anybody can come to me and say, I am willing to listen to you and study Vedanta if you can prove to me that Vedanta is right. How will I or anybody, any teacher of Vedanta prove to you whether Vedanta is right or not? How?
It's not how, it's not necessary to prove it.
Exactly. But if you refuse to listen to it without
Yeah.
a proof,
You have to give it the
Then
time.
you have to have Shraddha.
You have to give it the time.
Exactly.
And the devotion.
You have to give it a time. If you think that there could be a solution there, you have to give it a time. This is what we call Shraddha. Right? Because without proof, you are still willing to listen. This disposition is called Shraddha. Right?
Because you're not seeking the proof, I am.
Exactly. I'm not trying to prove anything.
Exactly. You're not trying to prove anything. I'm seeking
You're
proof.
seeking,
So give it the time.
give it a time. Right? That means that Shraddha, the teacher cannot prove to you the validity of Vedanta until you give it a time and see whether it makes sense or not.
Teacher should be available.
Yeah, exactly.
For all the
Here we are
doubt or-
talking about Shraddha. Shraddha means how will you choose to listen to Vedanta without knowing that it is the truth. There is some disposition which Nehru says, which says, okay, I am searching for a solution to my problem. I have not found it anywhere. What? Let me listen to it till the time that it makes sense to me. This is the only way. There is no other way. It is like our teacher used to give an example. Okay? Let's say somebody was born blind. Okay? And the person could not see. Now, then came the technology with which could be used to make the person see. Okay? So now the doctor says, now we have the technology which will make you see. So the person said, okay, lovely. Okay? So he undergoes operation. Doctor declares the operation is successful. Okay? The operation is successful, so now the doctor is saying, now you open your eyes. The patient is saying, doctor, you first prove to me that I will see. Only when you prove to me that I will see, I will open my eyes. How will the doctor be able to prove to the patient that he will see unless what?
He sees.
He opens his
He
eyes.
sees the thing.
Right? The doctor can only help you till the point that what? The operation is done. After that, what? You have to open the eyes. As Nehru very rightly says, the teacher has there is not calling on the street, come, 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 I have solution to life. You know what you know. Right? You make it available. You want to share what you know because you think it's important. Right? The person comes because the person is searching for solution. Right? Now the person wants the proof that your knowledge is going to help that person before the person even starts listening to you. How will you prove to the person that the knowledge that you have will help that person? Person can only say it has helped me and it has helped many others. You try. If it helps you, then you have to decide. Without the proof that it will help you, you still have to try. this disposition is called one leap where you say, okay, maybe the solution is here, listen to it with an open mind. This disposition is Shraddha. Because before you listen to it, there is no way somebody can prove it to you. Okay? And that is what he says, that Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehi Nam Sa Swabhavaja. Okay? Satviki, Rajasi Chaiva, Tamasi Iti Tam Shunu. If nobody can prove it to you, what will make it into Satviki, Rajasi and Tamasi Shraddha? This is true for every knowledge. Because you don't know whether something is valid or not, and you have to listen to it. At what point will it become Satviki Shraddha, what point it will become Rajasic Shraddha, and what point it will become Tamasic Shraddha?
Tamasic would be rejection.
Tamasic would be, even
Resistance.
if, one is resistance. Here we are talking about something different. Okay? Even if it is logically contradicted, I still hold on to it. Okay? So for example, there are so many examples, right? That the whole world view that I am the right one and everybody else will be condemned and will be sent to hell. Is it a reasonable Shraddha? Tamasic, right? That means I am the chosen one and everybody else is condemned to eternal hell. There is no chance. Okay? So this is what we call, even if I begin to listen with an open mind, there are some glaring contradictions and I still hold on to that Shraddha. That is Tamasic Shraddha. Because everybody listens to something or the other with some Shraddha, thinking that it is right.
So I hold on to the other contradictions, not the contradictions to Vedanta.
I am not talking about Vedanta. We are talking about Sattvic, Rajas and Tamasic Shraddha.
Shraddha.
That means, this is why in the name of Shraddha, people become what? Terrorists.
That is their Shraddha.
Exactly. That is their Shraddha. They have Shraddha.
They have close mind basically.
Yeah. That means that even if the ideas which are present, everybody needs some Shraddha. Why do you even go and listen to any discourse? Because before you listen to it, you don't know the proof that it is right or wrong. Right? In the process, you will find out. In the process, if you find that there are logical flaws, and if you still stick to those ideas, this is what Tamasic Shraddha. It can take you on a tangent. You yourself, when you did the chart, what did you write in Tamasic Shraddha? What did you write? You did write terrorism, you wrote everything. Right? What is Rajasic Shraddha? I want to use Karma Yoga for getting better grade. What is it meant for? Moksha. That is really using Karma Yoga in its proper way. I want clear mind so that what? This is all byproducts becomes the end. Right? Byproducts you can enjoy. But if they become the end, the whole focus has shifted. Right? So this is what we call Rajasic. What is Sattviki Shraddha? I use my reasoning. I use my capacity which is given to me to understand things clearly. I take care of all my problems by understanding things right. I see when there is a beauty which is shown to me in form of what? The truth. My mind is able to, people talk about aha moments. My God. Okay. This is what this aligning your thinking with what is, it is beautiful. Okay. This is what we call Satviki Shraddha. The focus in the whole pursuit of spirituality, focus is the truth. The nature is designed in a way, in sattva there is pleasure. Okay. Whenever your whole understanding of the world is aligned to what is, there is pleasure. Because there is no confusion, there is no distortion, there is no... All the problems related to non-understanding, partial understanding, vague understanding, it's all resolved. Okay? And this is what we call, whole thing is Satviki Shraddha. Intelligent use of your thinking capacity. And this is Satviki Shraddha. If you use intelligently your capacity to think and put it in ideas which make sense, which can help you, this is what we call Satviki Shraddha. And it can take you all the way. So therefore, what the last verse that we have chosen is Sarva Dharman Parityajya
Sarvadharman Parityajya
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja
Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyaha
Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyaha
Moksha Ishyami Ma Shuchaha.
Mokshayishyami ma shuchaha.
Okay. Arjuna's problem was Shucha, Ashut, what? That aham shochami. I am in sorrow. Where did Lord Krishna begin his teaching? Ashocha nanvashochastvam. You are grieving for things that are not worthy of grieving. Panditaha na anushojanti. What is a pandita? The wise person does not have any sorrow. Lord Krishna started talking about what is that wise person. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. What does it take for this understanding? Two lifestyles are necessary. Karma Yoga and Sannyasa. Which one does he say is better? Karma Yoga, because it will give you an opportunity to what? Experience, grow, all of that. Right? It's safer. Okay? Then he says that in that growth, what is the essential part? Law of dharma, law of karma, but not mechanical law of dharma and karma. In that growth, essential part is what? Knowing Ishvara and connecting to Ishvara. So he showed what is Ishvara. Nimitta Upadana Karana. He showed the need for Ananya Bhakti. For you to connect to that Ishvara in your personal growth. With the help of Ishvara, become Sattvic. For all this you need Ishvara. So in the process, what happened? He made you see that you need Ishvara. Then he said, if you do all this, you become a jnani. Who is a jnani? A wise person. What does the wise person know? A total identity between himself and Ishvara. In that knowledge, how do you have the proof that this is the knowledge which is going to solve my problem? You have to have some Shraddha. You have to start and see what this teaching is saying. Give it a time. Give some thought to it. There is no other way. And you need a teacher who will help you in the whole process. Make use of the teacher by right attitude. Okay. The whole thing is my arrangement. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Because you're so busy in trying to solve the problem without understanding anything. If your confusion is within me and I have answered to your solution, to your confusion, solution for your confusion, where do you go? You go to the person who has solution. Who has the solution? Where is the knowledge? To whom can you attribute this knowledge? Ishvara. Aham tvam sarva papebhyam. All this, your buddhi is afflicted with series and series and series of wrong opinions. It seems infinite, the kind of distortions that we have and what all we need to take care of. The baggage, as what she was saying, we carry is so huge, overwhelming at times. He says, don't worry. Aham tva sarvapa. Every step you take in the right direction, I am there to help you. To make another step, to make another step, to make another step. Until when? Moksha ishyami mashuchaha. Until the time that you are totally free. Totally free how? By knowing between Ishvara and you there is no difference. I will bless you with this knowledge. In that knowledge is your freedom. Without that knowledge, search. Go ahead. Search in any direction, you are free because you are in my Vartma. Wherever you go, whatever you search, you are all within me anyway. I don't have any problem. But if you come to me and if you are intelligent, I will help you all the way. Use your buddhi. I have given that buddhi. You have to decide how much of this buddhi you are going to use. Right? And this is how. If you use it rightly, then what? Moksha ishyami ma shuchaha. Shuchaha again is brought back. What? You are free from this whole samsara which is fraught with sorrow. The key to samsara is used by you. Right identification.
What is Shuchaha?
Shucha is sorrow.
Sorrow.
Yeah. Ma Shuchaha means what? Don't have that sorrow. I will give you moksha. What is this? It's not individual giving you moksha or anything, but if you look at the right place, you will find the right solution. Okay? So this is the whole teaching of Gita. Right? It is not a simple book where, as one of the Swamiji was saying, it seems as though Gita is a very simple book. Right? It is just telling you, oh, be detached to the world. Don't have anger. Don't have sorrows.
Give up all desires.
Give up all desires. Have equanimity. Lovely. In fact, if that was the teaching, how long does it take to tell all these rules?
10 Commandments.
10 Commandments. It will be done in 5 minutes. Gita doesn't need 18 chapters of hundreds of verses if that was the message. And big commentaries to understand what Lord Krishna is saying. Intricate book. It seems easy, but highly sophisticated. Okay. And this is where there are levels and levels and levels of teaching. So, I have done my best within my capacity to give what I know, right? How much you take, what you take, how much you use is also what? Within your free will. And I leave you free to be who you are, what you are. And all of you are dear to us. We don't carry anything against anyone. We love everyone. We enjoy everyone. And we wish you the best. And we pray for you. Thank you. Thank you. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.